Welcome in, everybody. Ready to dive deep with Brian Carter.
Yeah, this should be good. He's worked with some heavy hitters, Microsoft, NBC, Salesforce. He's helped them all navigate this crazy world of business.
And he's not just some consultant, right? I mean, we're talking best-selling author, IBM futurist, even Bloomberg TV has him on.
Definitely an expert. And today we're going deep on two of his specialties, AI and getting those different generations to, work together, which, let's face it, every workplace can use some help with.
For sure. And with Carter's experience, I mean, we're talking 42 industries, everything from Fortune 500s to even the public sector. He's seen it all.
Definitely a unique perspective.
Okay, so let's kick things off with AI. It feels like it's everywhere right now, but Carter's take is different. He cuts through the noise and gets real about what AI can actually do for us, in a practical way.
Yeah, he's got this way of, he didn't see AI as replacing us, but more like AI is a tool to make us more efficient.
So more like a super smart assistant, not a job stealer.
Exactly. It's about enhancing what we can do, not, pushing us out of the picture.
So how does that actually look, in the real world?
Think about customer interactions. Like imagine using AI to go through all your customer data, and then it helps you craft these individual messages. So it's not just mass emails anymore. It's like a personal shopper, but for everyone.
So that's how we escape the spam folder, right? And it's more than just emails, it's everything. No more generic blasts that just get ignored.
Right. This is about really connecting with people. And Carter would say, we're just scratching the surface here.
Oh, there's more.
He has this whole toolbox of AI tools that businesses are using right now. Like imagine AI taking over all those tedious tasks, all that busy work that just eats up time.
Oh, all those spreadsheets.
Exactly. So instead of drowning in data entry, you free up your brain to do, the stuff. Humans are good at the strategic thinking, problem solving, that creative stuff.
So it's all about finding the right tool for the job, recognizing that AI and humans, we both have our strength.
And Carter really emphasizes that AI isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, different tools for different needs,
He makes a really good point about diversifying those AI tools, because what works in marketing might not work, say, over in operations. But there's this one thing he said that really stuck with me. He said by 2030, 85% of customer interactions will be handled by AI. 85%. That's huge.
It's a whole new world. And what Carter is saying is you got to be ready. You got to adapt. This isn't optional anymore. Integrating AI, it's about survival at this point.
It's like AI is pushing us to be more human,
Yeah.
Getting back to creativity and really connecting with people. Which, speaking of connecting, that's another big thing for Carter, right? Bridging that generation gap, especially at work.
Yeah, he's really deep dived into that one. I mean, he's worked with the National Academy of Science, even, get this, CIA, all on this topic.
Wow, talk about range. Okay, so what's his take on this whole generation gap idea? Because it's so easy to fall into stereotypes.
And that's the thing with Carter. He goes right for that. He's like, ditch the labels, right? Millennials versus boomers, Gen Z against everyone. He's not about that. He wants us to find what we have in common, not what divides us.
Love that approach. It's not us versus them. It's like we're all on this thing together. But easier said than done, right?
Yeah.
How do you actually bridge that gap when you've got such different values, different ways of communicating?
Well, he gave this great example. I think it was from his Generation Why Not talk. He was talking about companies pairing up younger employees with senior staff, but it's reverse mentoring. So the younger person is the mentor guiding the older person on all the digital stuff, social media, new tech, you name it.
Okay, I love that. So the younger person feels heard, the older person gets up to speed, everybody wins.
Exactly. It's about making everyone feel valued, right? And it just creates a better working environment overall, more inclusive, more collaborative.
And you can leverage everyone's strengths that way.
Exactly.
Carter threw out some pretty crazy stats, too. Like, did you know that by 2028, millennials are on track to outnumber baby boomers? I mean, that's a seismic shift, right? Not just in numbers, but in culture, the economy, everything.
It's huge. And Carter says businesses, they have to be ready. It's not enough to just know this is happening. You got to understand what makes each generation tick, their values, how they communicate, what motivates them.
Makes you think about your own workplace, Are you seeing these changes happening, and are you adapting to them? Are you making sure everyone feels welcome, feels heard? Because that's what Carter's all about, creating that environment where everyone can succeed.
And he gives you practical ways to get there. Like communication is key, obviously, but really listening and creating opportunities for those different generations to connect, to actually learn from each other.
Building those bridges, just like we were talking about. There's one more thing Carter talked about that really stuck with me, this idea of likability as a leadership skill. And I don't know, it sounds kind of, I don't know, simple, but it really got me thinking.
Yeah, you don't hear that every day.
It's not like you're just trying to win a popularity contest, right? It's got to be more than that.
Right, deeper than that. Carter's talking about really connecting with people,
Mm.
understanding where they're coming from, making sure everybody feels like their voice matters.
And that's important for everyone, right? I mean,
Yeah.
no matter your age, your background, how you feel about robots taking over the world.
It's universal
Yeah.
because when you have that foundation of trust, people feel, well, they feel safe to speak their mind. They're more likely to share ideas, be creative, even take risks because they know they're not going to be shot down.
So it's about building that environment, that culture. Okay, so how do we actually get better at this whole likability thing? Because they don't exactly teach you that in business school.
Well, Carter breaks it down into a few things. Active listening, that's huge. And I don't mean just waiting for your turn to talk, but really hearing what the other person is saying, even trying to see things from their point of view.
Empathy.
Exactly. And then creating that space where people can be open and honest, where they feel safe sharing what they really think.
It's interesting because those are all like human qualities, right? But they become even more important in a world that's like obsessed with technology, with AI.
That's Carter's point. It's like the more tech we have, the more those human qualities matter. They're what sets us apart.
So it's not about becoming robots ourselves. It's about holding on to what makes us human, our empathy, our creativity, our ability to connect with each other.
And bringing those qualities into everything we do, whether it's figuring out how to use AI in a way that actually helps people or building a team where everybody feels like they belong, no matter their generation,
Yeah.
it all comes back to those core values.
Connection, empathy, understanding. Really interesting stuff today. So as you navigate your own work, your own career, think about what Brian Carter said. What can you do to become a more likable leader, coworker, teammate, whatever your role is? Because those connections, those human connections, those might be the most valuable thing we have in this crazy, fast-changing world.